So I I just got back from dropping Royce off at school, and just thinking about how this morning went. It I had to share my thoughts. This if you guys see me in the Batman costume, that's what we're doing for Halloween this year. Um, this morning they had their Halloween party at school, and I had already planned on taking Royce to school in the Batman costume. You know, as a lot of you guys know, I do a lot of things with Royce. You know, he's my co-pilot, my partner in crime. Um, but this morning you know, he was nervous. You know, he was scared to go to school in his Robin costume. Uh, as most 4 year olds slash 5 year olds tend to get. Um, whenever something's outside the norm of what they're used to, they get nervous, they get scared. Um, but I woke up a little earlier than I normally do, um, to bake the mummy hot dogs that Mona had made the night before. Basically turn on the oven, uh, bake them, and then put the little eyeballs on them. Candy eyeballs, which is basically just crescent. Wrapped around a hot dog, that makes it look like a mummy, and then put the eyeballs on them, and then make the little treats for the kids. Um, Mona's Mona's so clever. I would never have thought about doing that. I think she saw it on Pinterest, but I mean, she's always smart about finding stuff like that. But it was something Royce and I did together, to kind of get him in the mood for Halloween. And she had made the little treat bags for them last night. Um, but then it was time to get in the Robin outfit, and he got excited, but he was nervous because again, it's outside the norm of what he's used to, because his favorite hero is Robin. Um, I don't know how much of that is the fact that mine is, or the fact that he, sees, a kid, you know, punching bad guys, and relates to that, because he's always pretending to punch bad guys and fight crime, you know. It's so cute. Um, but he was nervous when we were getting him dressed for Robin. He asked me for a hug because he was scared, and he said, "What if they don't like my costume?" And I said, "Royce, they're gonna love your costume. They're your friends." And I said, "What matters is if you like the costume. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks." And he said, "But I'm nervous." And I know in little kid talk that means scared. He doesn't necessarily what nervous means, but scared. And so I gave him a big old hug, like as dads tend to do. And I'd like to think that I'm close with my son. I don't get to spend a lot of time with him, but I'd like to think that we get quality, um, more so than quantity. You know, um, but we went. I asked him. I was like, you want Daddy to go as Batman, and you want Batman to drive you to school? You want Batman to drive Robin? And he was like, oh, yeah. And I had already planned, like I said, to do it anyway. Because I thought it would be fun to do that. And he was so happy and so excited. And then we got to school and we took some pictures, outside the school. We got there early enough. And I didn't wear my Michael Keaton mask, the one I'm going to do in the film that we're going to shoot, because you know, you're not supposed to wear the masks like that when you're driving. So I just wore the kind of flimsy old, kind of crappy, you know, one that we have here. I didn't wear that one, but I wore that for the pictures, outside the school. But to Royce, like, I'm Batman. It didn't matter. And it was, we took the pictures of us holding the treat bags and us holding the mummy hot dogs. We took that for Mona. Um, and the kids started showing up in their costumes, and he was so happy to see their costumes. And hey, what's up, William Wells? How you doing, man? It's good talking to you, man. We don't get to communicate as much as I don't see enough online. It's good to see you, man. Um, but his friend was dressed in a princess dress, and she was like, "Look at my costume. I'm a princess." And he was like, "That's so cool. Look at me. I'm Robin, and that's my dad. That's Batman." And then across the way, another one of his friends was like, "Hey, look at me. I'm Bumblebee." And he was like, "I'm Robin. That's my dad. He's Batman." And then another one was like, "I'm Captain America." And Royce just again kept showing off his costume and showing me off. And the thing that we were done taking the pictures, and we walked across the way, and of course I still had the Batman mask on because I was staying in character, because of course Halloween, all of us, you know the kids and me, a big kid, I'm like, wow, that's Bumblebee. Wow, Captain America. Wow. And every time Royce is like, "I'm Robin. That's my dad. He's Batman." Like thinking about that on the drive home, I know that like we all go through life and we make our mistakes. And I know there are, people that I've probably pissed off, and some people I'm probably the devil. But if there's one thing that I can point to and say I did that right, it's that little boy. I love being that kid's dad. And the I cannot wait to see the man that he becomes. And I wanted to share with all of you. Yeah, no, he's okay, Laura Reloaded. He's okay. No, it just I wanted to share how happy that I was, because he was just so, he was so nervous, he was so scared, um and to see him, I'm just having one of those proud moments. um I think, yeah, no, he was sick a few days ago. He's good. He's better now. Um, thankfully, like I said a few days ago, I think it was something. I think it was something he ate. Uh, a worried parent. Uh, and especially with all the COVID stuff going around, it's like, you know. But no, he's good. But no, this morning, like I said, it just thinking about, he didn't want to wear. He's like, I don't, I'm nervous, I'm scared, and seeing him just, I'm Royce, I'm Robin, and that's my dad. That man is so silly. I'm just I'm just so proud, and I know every parent goes through that. You know, um, like I said, I know people can look at their lives and say, how bad things are, how much they've messed up. But if you can point to one thing in your life that you've done good, then hold on to that. Because I look at my kid, and despite everything that that sucks, in today's world, like I look at him and he's the one thing that is a light, you know, and everything else fades away, you know. Um, but I just wanted to share that moment with you guys because despite, the films that I've made or, the recognition from whoever, like all that pales in comparison to being that kid's dad, and him, him, being my little sidekick, you know, um, it's the best feeling in the world, you know. Um, yeah, you would know more than most people, uh, full suffering. You would know. You've been there through since he was, you know, uh, yay tall. You would know. You've seen him grow up. And that's part of the thing of me putting him in my films since he was like 4 months old. You know, is seeing him grow up. You know, um, I just love being a dad, and I wanted to share that moment with you guys. Like I said, I had to pull over. I was so overwhelmed with how I was feeling. I just had to share. Um, anyway, that being said, um, be genuine, be safe, and keep on geeking on, guys.